Hi everybody, Dennis here. Don't mind me, I'm just doing some reorganizing. Okay, let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we? That's better. Last time I said I had some news to share, and the first part of it will explain why I'm moving things around here. You see, I've given my notice at my day job so I can focus full-time on 4 keys. And that's good news for you too, because it means I'll have more time to make new content for the channel, and I've got some cool stuff in the works, so I hope you're as excited about it as I am. But that also means that I need to get serious about my workspace. Over the years I've accumulated quite a lot of stuff, and I've kind of piled everything in without much thought to my workflow. If I'm going to be a serious YouTuber, then I need to change that. I've got to somehow find more space in here, but without getting rid of anything. It's a tall order, and to be honest, I'm not even sure where to begin. Whenever I feel that way, though, I do what I always do. Break out a pen and some paper. So as you can see, I've drawn up a floor plan of the bindery. I've marked in the windows down here and the door, and I've also drawn in the flat filing cabinets, which aren't going to move. I like them right where they are. For everything else, though, I've got these scale drawings of all of my different tools and furniture. I can use these to move things around and get a feel of how I want the layout to look. To start, I'll lay out everything as is as of right now. First, we've got my main workbench, which sits in the corner here. And of course, that's where Mr. Ritchie lives as well. My white bench with the plywood top is over here by the flat files. My board shear and paper cutter live right there. My gray flat filing cabinet is in the corner over there. And my number 2 press and my handmade wooden press live on top of that. Down in this corner by the door, I've got this secondhand roll front cabinet. I've got a base cabinet with a drawer that came from my kitchen. And my handy green filing cabinet lives right there. This end of the bindery, of course, is my main work area. I really want to try to find a way to make some more workspace for myself over here. My presses and cutters, as handy as they are a little bit in the way when it comes to having a nice open space for working. This area over here by the door, which you don't see very often, mainly because it's a mess, really needs some better organization. What's nice about having a paper plan like this is I can move things around without having to shift the real things in real life. So here's what I have in mind. I'll start by taking some of the tools off of the benches. One thing that I'm sure of is that I'd like to have all of my flat filing cabinets together. This gray one can slide down here to live next to the others. This little roll front cabinet I don't use very much. I'm not even certain if I'm going to keep it, so I'll take that out of the equation. This small base cabinet could go almost anywhere, so I'll take that out as well for the time being. That leaves me with the white bench and the 30 drawer cabinet. The white bench I think would be better suited living over here by the door. And as it happens, I've got a salvage tabletop that I think would work really well on that base. This base cabinet is almost the same dimensions as this tabletop, so I think it can live next to that. And then I think my 30 drawer cabinet I can turn 90 degrees to where it was so that the drawers face my workspace. My small board shear and my paper cutter can live on that table now. This layout now leaves me a little bit more room to work over here, and of course a big empty space over here where I can make some sort of new work area. And I think I've got just the thing. A few years back I renovated my kitchen, and when I did that I kept the butcher block countertop. I think with a little work I can take that and turn it into a new workbench, and just so happens that it's the perfect size to fit just there. I've then got lots of room to put my presses back to work. I might even be able to save this small cabinet and fit it underneath the bench somehow. So with this layout, all of my tools are still accessible, but I've managed to fit in a big new work surface here, and I think this will be a much more efficient workspace over on this side. All in all, I think this is going to be a great layout for 2025 and taking 4 keys to the next level. In fact, I've got even a little bit more news to share with you, but that'll be a little bit later in the video. Alright, now that we've got a game plan, let's get to work. Whoopsie. What happened? Could somebody from the internet come and grab this for me? Don't move. Yeah, so my casters are a little bit sus. I've only got myself to blame. I'm the one who put them on there. Bricks to the rescue! Let's see if I can lever this thing up. Oh yeah. Okay. Temporary fix. Wow, that's the perfect height. Maybe I should just leave it. I don't think so. Well, there's the problem. I only ever put these casters on with 2 screws. Silly me. So I've made a hole for the new bench, but at what cost? But whatever, I think I'm going to have a lot more workspace in here. Let's try and get that bench in here. So if you remember that old countertop I mentioned, I took the time to refurbish it for the bindery. In a bit you'll see some highlights of me building the base that'll support it. You can see it because I of course filmed the entire process. But I got to thinking, what am I going to do with all that footage? I of course want to share it after all. Some of you've said that you'd tune in for anything I do, even if it was reading a shopping list. Butter tarts, bacon. But 4Keys Book Arts is about books, so I don't want to stray too far from that core content. What's a poor YouTuber to do? Start a second channel, that's what. The 4Keys Workshop channel will be where I share full-length videos of those projects that support the main channel. Whether that be shop infrastructure like this bench build, metalworking for book furnishings, tool maintenance, or whatever else I get up to, you'll find it there. I'll still put highlights of that stuff in my main videos, of course, but if you're interested in longer form dives into wood and metalworking, then the 4Keys Workshop is for you. The build video for this bench is already up over there, and I'll post a link for it all over this video. If you're interested, then head on over and check it out, and of course, subscribing while you're there will be a big help to get the new channel off the ground. Now let's head back up to the bindery. Well, it was close, but it fits. And what a difference. This bench is going to be such a pleasure to work at. First though, I need to get the rest of the bindery put back together. I'm pretty much snowed in here, so it only makes sense that while I'm reorganizing, I may as well make the bindery as cozy and inviting as possible. Some window trim and wall paneling will be just the thing. It was a lot of work, but I think it was well worth it. I really feel like this is a space that not only supports my bookbinding, but will inspire me as well. The area by the door is now dedicated to breaking down paper and board, either with the cutters or on the large, well-supported cutting mat. The presses are all in easy reach, but they're no longer dominating my main workspace. And what a workspace! This bench is of course tailor-made for my height, and I have room for my legs underneath if I need to sit, which is a luxury I didn't have on my original bench. I still need to find places for all of my most frequently used tools, but I can grow into that as I get used to the space. I put off this project for a long time because of how much work it would be, but now that it's done, I'm so glad I made the effort. This is the perfect workspace to kick off a new chapter for 4 Keys Book Arts. And of course the 4 Keys workshop too. Please go have a look. Like I said, the whole bench build is live there now, and maybe share it with anyone you know who maybe isn't so much into all that silly book stuff, but maybe likes dust and rust and power tools instead. Anyway, thank you so much for watching if you're still here. I have the best viewers on all of YouTube without a doubt. Until next time, I'm Dennis, and I'll see you in the next video.